Try to do this shit right while I'm here. Pull out my phone real quick. Keep my hands a little warm. Okay. So today, I don't really have a long ass sermon. Today pretty much is about me, to be honest. And yesterday I came across this video speaking specifically on Libras. And speaking on like what kind of cycle we have been in and how we sell and advertise partnership, diplomacy, and harmony. And instead of just going out and just like achieving and putting ourselves on the front line for our own missions and our own values and our own ideals. And for me personally, like kind of life I've been living like that life firsthand lately. Or the last couple of years I've been living that life firsthand. So today I'm gonna speak about that. And like, you know, and what that has meant for me personally and how does that make me feel. Also like the kind of journey that I'm on right now with YouTube and the platform, the podcast and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm gonna focus on today. I got it down on my notes, and these is today's notes. So, I seen a TikTok yesterday about Libras not compromising their truest self and worth for a false sense of diplomacy. And like, for the last 2 years, I feel like that I have been actively seeking a lot of uniformity in groups. Something that I have learned with all of this time coming is diplomacy or harmony only happens when you have pluralism. And with me, like, I think I'm a person who understands pluralism a lot. I just kind of, you could say like, I'm always so calculated that a lot of things in a plural manner, or a lot of people who have like characteristics, and that kind of makes a house or a unit or a team plural and distinctive through the individuals. I kind of calculate it, so I kind of mitigate how wild things can actually get, and that is a form has been a form of performance for me. And sometimes it's not just performance, honestly. Like I think I do it with myself, so I naturally do it with everybody else. And that is it's not helpful. It's not helpful to myself. Like it doesn't really hurt everybody else. Like for real, for real to everybody else, I'm probably just speaking, I'm motivating, I'm saying the things that need to be said. But the things that need to be said for me and for the group is it's not the things that for them need to be, or that's not the things that, let me say this. Things that need to be said for me and to the group, about the group and for the group are for me. And I'm just kind of verbalizing, I'm kind of just venting to a point. The things for them, they know what's for them, what needs to be said to them, or what they need to say to themselves. That's going to impact, that's going to help the group. Things that I say is only from what I see, only from my perspective, is only from my road. It has nothing to do with them, who they are, and their life journey. And that is what I would say, like, I'm the first person to understand pluralism. I'm the first person to understand where a person may play a better role and they may be more efficient in this specific niche. But I'm the last person to sit there and be in the moment. Like, have a hard time just being in the moment. And something that I actually have a hard time doing it, I just already have lived the moment in my head for being so calculated, for being so, for having foresight for so long, and just having foresight, using my foresight and looking back in hindsight and just using my insight. So a big gift that I do have is using my insight, using what I have for real. And like my insight, my foresight, and my hindsight, it's awareness for me. So a lot of what it has been for me is using these things to kind of keep a close and an airtight ship. Keep a close, tight ship. Or Keep it tight shit, pretty much. And I say in certain seasons that works. And other seasons, it may work, but it's not the actual thing we need to get over the hump. It's not actually the ingredient that we need right now. And that's what I'm learning. Like, and somebody else might have a better flavor and a better season for that stew, for that pot, for that jumbo, or for that food. Like they might have something better and more efficient and that's gonna help and more fruitful to provide to the collective. And not always what I'm saying. So that's one section to it. And something that I also have come to terms with, and this is where, and these are two things that both could be true, is true power has centrality. But only when it's able to be distributed among those of other power forms or forms of power. And like, it's the ego too, but also like, it's the fear as well. And like, of not having power over a situation, or not having control over a situation, and thinking that control and power over a situation makes me feel better about myself. And it don't really make you feel better. It just silences the anxiety for what's to come. But it doesn't make you feel better. It just gives you, okay, I got that over with. Okay, now that I'm not thinking so much about that, what am I else? What's next? It doesn't allow you to be at terms and be at odds with things. It more so forces you to check your list off, get it out your face. Like, stop focusing on it so much. And that's something that I would say, like, is a cancer to me. Like, is a cancer, a big cancer. And I think for me to understand and recognize the other forms of power that I do have in my circle is to allow my power to invest only into my power, to dive into my power only, and to think about my power only. Do not think about what's the group's next move, what's every individual within the group's next moves. Think about what's my next move, what's my next steps, and what's my next level. Going after true diplomacy with advertising my great ideas and adventures has never worked for me. Only when things have worked for me is when I started first and I did it alone. Doing things alone is one of the, I don't know, I'm a big person on frugalness and selfishness. And I think with me always pinpointing that in other people, it's like I go so hard on myself to always include people into the things that I find joy in. And like we used to watch certain movies, we used to have like family time, movie time, and I used to be thinking like if my brother was asleep or something, say he was upstairs, and like I'd be thinking back to myself like, we about to watch one of the best movies and I know he'll want to see this. And I'd be like, damn, he ain't even here to see this right now. And I'd be thinking like, damn, I'll just come invite him, like, come watch the movie, like, come sit down. And just because I find joy in a moment of like knowing he would want to see this, don't mean it's the season or the time or the moment for him to see this movie, and especially to see it with me. Some things are truly meant to be alone, done alone. Some things are truly meant to be accepted alone and practiced alone. And for me, I have to start doing things alone so that my true authentic nature, my true, the true simplicity of myself is able to be shown and vibrated throughout the course of the things that I put time and energy into. And stop being so performative with inviting people and feeling like this moment has to be the moment that steps into our memory, when it just becomes a disaster to an extent, because it is not, the appreciative value is not there as much because I have forced the moment. I have forced somebody else's hand to come enjoy this with me. And that's not really like, that's not really the thing about it. That's not the cure to it. So one thing I will say is like, doing things alone, you allow people that's not within your circle, people who never met you, people who don't know you, to embrace what are you doing right now, to embrace who you is right now, and to allow who you is right now, what you're doing right now, to truly be the reason why they mess with you. Like, people in your circle see you for multiple things. They can see you as, let's just say for me, the basketball player. They can see me as a good time. They can see me as a certain archetype. But going out in this world and showing one version of yourself and allowing your signal and your beacon to attract those who can align with your mission, those who can align with what they see right now, it allows for more authentic partnerships to be born and for things to spawn that progress and that essentially pays off over time, that helps you over time, and that pays you back more so, or that pays the relationship back, or that pays your time back. It's more of a fruitful connection than a performative meeting or a performative reaction or a performative interaction. So yeah, like, and then like we for me to not go off script completely, like, and another big thing, like, you cannot have structure with partners or with your friends without alignment. And alignment allows for the participation to be a lot more invested, allows for the parties to be a lot more invested, for them to understand their role without having a role to be said or having a role to be placed. It allows for trust to be the currency of a lot of different things. And once alignment has been recognized, felt, introduced, and I would say reciprocated or understood, structure builds itself. Like, if you were to say I'm getting an arranged marriage, or that's kind of unalignment, but say like you're going to get married or something like that, and you just happen to meet this amazing person, and this person already like does the things that you do on their own, or they're already interested in the person that you're becoming on their own. You don't have to show them your work, a portfolio. You don't have to sit down and have a conversation with them. They just came across your work, and you just so happen to run into this kind of person. Like, divine intervention and alignment with those kind of interactions allow for structure to be in place, because once you have met and once you have introduced and once you have notified that this is a good feeling thing or this is something that's actually good, and then I can respect what I have experienced, you two people know how to move forward. You know your next steps more so. And the next steps begin to build structure. And with that structure, you begin to trust somebody's role, and you begin to more so understand and favor, or I would say appreciate what somebody do add to your life, instead of setting up a contract, instead of setting up an arrangement, instead of setting up a meeting and saying we're going to do this here, we're going to do this there, we're going to do that there, and allowing for somebody to work only in their ecosystem. Do not destroy somebody's ecosystem when they meet you. And I think that's the big thing about having friends with ideas and having the people around you that have great ideas, is that like those ideas never spawn into reality, because none of you guys are working on what you're saying you want to do without meeting me. None of you guys are doing what you say you actually want to do without this conversation. And you don't actually speak about these things you wouldn't actually speak about these things if we didn't have a conversation, or you didn't have nobody to speak to them to. So that is what I mean by alignment first, structure follows. And alignment will bring the right characters and the right cast in play. structure will build avenues for their ecosystems to flourish. Those who are already aligned do not need to, they don't need a motivational speech. They don't need a heart-to-heart. You don't need a conversation or a call every week to speak to these kind of people or to level with these kind of people. When you focus on you, alignment has already begun. Like, most times, like for founders or people who's creating stuff and doing cool shit out here or building anything, building businesses, like a lot of what the idea of a founder comes from is that these people focus on them. They focus on what they're so deeply passionate about for a long period of time before people are influenced by it, and they also, and that influence sparks their ideas. It sparks their passion that they have aligned with what you're already doing, and they see who's at the helm of this motivation or this movement. They see who's doing it the best. They see who's doing it the longest, and they're inspired by it. That spectrum of energy brings the passion and the child out of other individuals, and they're willing to rally behind you for one, for what you two already have in common, and for two, for everything that they always wanted to do and that they have been working on also. So you oftentimes don't need to reach out or galvanize people. The work does it. Your passion does it, your energy does it, and and time does it. And after a so long period of time, the universe will send you your weapons. It will send you what you need. So, to make a long story short, or a short story shorter, or a short story longer, today is January 24th. We're expecting a snowstorm in this region. I think this is pretty much the Midwest region. Pretty much all over the country, we're expecting a snowstorm. Welcome to World 7, aka the Arcane. Till next time.